Hi. Are you here? Are you here? Oh, wow, super. Yeah. Let me stop the music and bring you properly. Yeah. Ah, hi, people. Hi, people. How you doing? How you doing? Oh, my people, are you here? I'm so happy to be back. Let me get my glass of milk. Today I'm drinking milk. Oh, man. Let me get my glass of milk. Yo, cheers to Patrick Mbeko, who is always saying that he's drinking milk. Let's get the show started. Today we're going to start in English. Oh my goodness, my people, I suspect a cover up. Cover up, British people. We're going to talk to the British people. The case about the kid, that young man who killed allegedly. This was his young picture that they published. RUDAKUBANA, who allegedly top suspect killer of 3 innocent little girls. So the case has evolved, and I suspect a cover up. And we have tried to expose what we know previously on this show, to warn the British people, to tell the British people. Oh my goodness. So I suspect there's been a cover up, and we're going to talk about the cover up that there's been today, because there's new evolution in the case. Now the government is coming out talking about, yeah, people were right to feel and to suspect, maybe intuition. I don't know how people know, but the government is now coming out admitting, my people. Oh, this is so, cover up, huge cover up in the UK, admitting that there's a connection to Islam, and revealing that there's also a new criminal charge, which has to do that the guy also had poison in his home. Oh my God, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it, my people. Oh no, British people have to know. Because we feel, and we are against all injustice, So this is for the victims and the families of the victims, because one of the way to give justice, one of the way that justice can be delivered, is by speaking the truth, revealing the truth, exposing the truth in itself is a form of justice. All right, my people. So this is what we're going to talk about in English. Then we're going to move into French, and we're going to talk about the case in France against a Rwandan man, Eugene Rwamucyo, who has been sentenced to 27 years. So we're going to comment about the case in France in French. And then we're going to move into the Kinyarwanda section and talk about it, keep talking about it. All right, my people. So welcome back to your favorite You and I talk show with your host, AUSARES, Louise Uwacu, in the building. And today we are Saturday, November 2nd. And it's 1 p.m., a few minutes past 1 p.m. And I'm in Vancouver, Canada. The city you see behind me is Vancouver, Canada. That's where I am. My people, welcome back to You and I. All right, British people. So there has been some development in the case of the young man RUDAKUBANA, who is accused of having killed those three innocent little girls. And so, as I had said, that I suspect there has been a cover up, because last time on the show, we actually talked to you about his background, his family, and what the Rwandan community was saying, and what it is that they were suspecting. Because, as we had exposed to you, his own father was part of the Kagamistan killing machine army, and he went into the army also as an underage boy. And many in the Rwandan community had many allegations talking about how the boy's family is connected to the Kagamistan killing machine army in Rwanda, given that his father was also in the army. And then that there were suspicions in the Rwandan community that they may be still working with the Rwandan government, the Kagamistan criminal dictatorship, and now that they accuse the boy of having poison. So some people in the Rwandan community have also speculated and made allegations and brought up questions that how did such a young man get poison? So some people are saying that it is well known that the Kagamistan killing machine criminal dictatorship in Rwanda uses poison to poison its opponents without borders, and that who knows, that the British people should investigate that he may have gotten this from the Rwandan criminal dictatorship, the Kagamistan, and that it may have gotten to him through diplomatic messaging, because nobody checks the diplomatic messaging that the Kagamistan brings from Rwanda to the UK, and so that this had to be investigated. So allegedly that this may be connected, given the fact that we had exposed to you his background. His father had also been in the army as an underage boy, and this is the army that they themselves say that they are killing machines, that their army is a killing machine army, and that the new generation is better killing machines than the previous generation. People have to wonder, how does such a young man get trained to kill, that he may be able to kill a couple of people so fast and attack more people, innocent people? And then last time we had also been asking questions and making also the connection between Islam and the whole drama, because the Kagamistan operates exactly like a religion, and a religion which, if you are not part of it, they consider you as an infidel and that you deserve to be killed. Now, I had been reading recently the book Infidel. Let's remind people. Let me take the opportunity to thank the author, Ayan Hirsi, Ayan Hirsi Magan. I've been reading this book, and I'm so inspired by the lady. She's a Somalian lady who wrote the book and who warned the Western society, the European society, about Islam, and who talked about her background, and who talked about some of these people, when they commit crimes, when they commit terrorism, they actually find things in their religion to justify what they're doing, because the religion itself says and claims that if you're not part of it, that they can kill you, pretty much. And then she also exposes the treatment of women, so we ask questions where, like, is it accidental that this man targeted young girls, women, so when you learn what Islam thinks about women and how it treats women, and then when you learn what it thinks about non-Islam people and how they should be treated and how they should be killed, you can understand pretty much the connection. So the connection to the Kagamistan is that that's exactly how the Kagamistan operates. It operates like this religion, and if you're not part of it, they give themselves the right to kill you. They make you pledge, and they pursue you without borders wherever you may be it in the UK, be it wherever. They feel like they can go anywhere, and if you're not part of them, wherever you may be, that they give themselves the right to kill you. So all these connections have to be investigated, and then of course the poison connection. So let's show you what the authorities have said about the case. I'm going to share my screen and then show you what the British authorities themselves have said about the case and what are now the new charges, because there have been new charges. So the reason why I suspect a cover up is because from the beginning, people had suspected this. So how do we know that the government did not cover up from the beginning? So then we need to know, when did they have this information? How long did they know? Did they know it from the beginning and then they decided to cover up? Why are they covering up? Are they maybe covering up because of the relationship that the government has with the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan in Rwanda? As you know, they've had great relationship. And last time I was actually telling you how we don't trust the Labour government, because Tony Blair, who was Labour, was a huge supporter of the Kagamistan. And of course, the Clintons, the Democrats in the USA, were big supporters of the Kagamistan. Needless to say that I also, wish them to lose the American elections. But, that's not on the topic today. So, anyways, let's come back to a very serious topic. But as you know, on this platform, we're always trying to laugh about all our dramas. Unfortunately, this drama, there's absolutely nothing funny that we can laugh about. But we can still laugh about the politicians. Politicians are trying to lie to us, but we will not allow them to get away with lying to us, because they are servants of the people and they always need to be serving the people and the people's interest. So this thing caused a lot of drama in the UK, and the people had already suspected the connection to terrorism, to Islam, and we had exposed the connection, the possible suspect alleged connection to the Kagamistan. So we hope that the investigation is going on, and that this person who committed this horrible crime is absolutely going to be held accountable, and that they will see justice. Like, I don't even know what would be justice, like, in this such a horrible case. Like, what would even be justice? Like, what is it that could happen that would be considered as justice? Because three innocent little lives have been lost. So what is it that could happen that would even begin to be considered as justice for all the families? And then those are the little girls who died, but on top of them, there were also other people who were attacked by this young man. Previously on the show, we had talked about another young man in France, another Rwandan man in France, who this time attacked his own father and killed his own father. So I wish it was happening like that, like Rwandans taking their savagery and their barbarism beyond borders, that if they're going to kill, let them at least kill each other, right? So the other guy, at least he killed his own father, right? It's in the family. We talked about it. We talked about how his own family was connected to the Kagamistan and that they bring their own children into this. So, who knows? Uh, so, but in this case, this person from the Rwandan community goes and kills three innocent little girls and attacks British people. British people who have been hosting refugees from around the world, who have an open democratic society, British people who have been able to challenge their own religion, to challenge Christianity. In my new book that I'm going to publish soon, I talk about how when the people in the West, they've been challenging their own religion, challenging Christianity for generations now, and nobody calls them Christianophobia. But when people challenge Islam and want to question Islam as much as they have questioned their own religion, questioned Christianity, people call them Islamophobia. So this has to stop. People need to be allowed to openly question the religion of peace. I talk about being able to peacefully question the religion of peace. And if you peacefully question the religion of peace, you will discover why these terrorists are hiding behind Islam in order to commit terrorism. It is actually because in the religion they do allow them to kill people who are considered as infidels, and that is anybody who is not part of Islam. So Ian Hilsey tried to warn the European society. How was Ian Hilsey rewarded when she tried to warn the European society? They tried to take away her citizenship. Her citizenship in Europe, when she tried to warn the Europeans about what is coming from Islam. She was born into Islam. She was born into in Somalia, and she even grew up in Saudi Arabia. So she knows Islam from the inside. Her family also moved to Saudi Arabia. They also lived in Kenya. Oh my God, her story is so amazing. And this book has been alive for many years. So people should read it, because now more than ever, I think people need to hear from this amazing, brave woman, Ayan Hirsi Ali, with her book, Infidel, because she warned the Western society and they tried to take her citizenship for that. And then she had to move to the USA, to the Americans, the land of the free. I'm in Canada commenting about all this. Okay, so let's hear what the British people are saying about the case and the new development in the case. And this is why we suspect cover up, because when did they know the government has criminalized some people, put some people in jail, penalized some people for freedom of speech, for suspecting exactly what they are now revealing. And so the people need to know, when did the government know, and why did they punish people for simply speaking the truth, speaking their suspicions and their intuition. I mean, our intuition matters too, you know. All right, my people, let's listen to it.
Today, the Crown Prosecution Service has authorised Axel RUDAKUBANA, aged 18, from Lancashire, to be charged with 2 further offences. Axel RUDAKUBANA already faces 3 charges of murder, 10 charges of attempted murder, and 1 charge of possession of a knife, all relating to the incident at Hart Street on the 29th of July 2024. The 2 further offences relate to evidence obtained by Merseyside Police during searches of Axel RUDAKUBANA's home address as part of a lengthy and complex investigation which has been ongoing since the 29th of July. The additional charges are the production of a biological toxin, namely ricin, contrary to Section 1 of the Biological Weapons Act 1974, and possession of information, namely a PDF file entitled Military Studies in the Jihad Against the Tyrants, the Al-Qaeda Training Manual.
Let's pause for a second, my people. Did you just hear that? Did you just hear that? A young man, underage, Al-Qaeda training manual and poison in his home. Yo, for me, the whole family is a suspect. So where does the young man get it from? How do we know that the whole family should not be investigated because the grown-ups, the adults in the house may be involved? Where does an underage boy get this? Is it so far-fetched that we've already told you about his background and we've already exposed that his own father was part of the Kagamistan killing machines army and that he was also an underage soldier? These people that they call Kadogo, do you know the horrible things that they make underage soldiers do? And in many civil conflicts, in wars, civil wars, genocide, massacres, in Rwanda and so many other conflicts in Africa, they make them do horrible things. Horrible things that if you go into may last with you a lifetime. So what if you have a kid now? Is it so far-fetched? My people, I really hope that the British people are investigating the whole family and that they're investigating all their connections. And as we say, there are allegations and questions in the Rwandan community saying that they are that they are allegedly connected to the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan, because the Kagamistan is known to use poison. And they transfer the poison abroad through diplomatic channels because no one checks diplomatic channels. British people, I hope you're listening. All right. So I'm only trying to help the investigation.
Likely to be useful to a person committing or preparing to commit an act of terrorism, contrary to Section 58 of the Terrorism Act 2000. RUDAKUBANA will appear at Westminster Magistrates Court by video link tomorrow.
My people, so suspicious. Very suspicious. My intuition, and you need to respect your intuition. I respect my intuition as a woman. Maybe they'll legalize intuition when it becomes not just a female thing, My intuition is telling me that there's been a cover-up. There's been a huge cover-up. People were reacted outrageously because of the innocent little girls. And they suspected the religion of peace because they know that the religion of peace has issues with women and also gives itself the right to kill anyone who is not part of it. So they suspected it, and the government, instead of listening to them and comforting them, the government proceeded to divide the society even more, to go after people who are asking questions and who are outraged about the criminal act, instead of even going after the criminals, instead of even investigating people who are into it. So, and then they come out today and they say, oh, 2 new charges that we need to add. And these 2 new charges confirm exactly what all the people were suspecting from the beginning. So I suspect there has been a cover up, and I suspect this is the kind of thing that could cause the British government, the Labour government, to fall. All right, my people. So let me see your comments before I move into French, so we can keep talking about the French. I think Rwanda and whatever is going on in the Rwandan community internationally. So before I go, let me address this comment, and then we're gonna move into the French, right? Odile Nono is saying, "You and I talk show. I don't understand how a black person can be wishing for Donald Trump to win. Either it's the lack of understanding of Republican policies or being corrupt." Now, I would say that no, you're the one who has a lack of understanding of American politics and the history and the entire background, and also as a black person, um, you are not supposed to vote for someone just because they're black. We are first and foremost intelligent beings, and our ancestors who built civilizations, they never even identify themselves as black. They identify themselves as muntu, abantu, and the meaning of muntu is someone who has umutwe, who thinks, and someone whose foundation is in ma'at umutima, and umutima is truth, justice, order, balance. So our first focus should be truth, order, justice, balance, and we should go with our head. And the black identity is a made up identity that was created actually by racist white supremacists in order to dump all Africans into one identity, black. But as you know, Africa is actually the most diverse continent. And even though we may all be black people, but there are various nations which the diversity enriches the whole culture, so we're not supposed to see things just as black and white. Second, the Republican Party, in terms of actually history, the Republican Party was actually the party of the people who were on the side of freedom. On the side of freedom. If you know your American history, liberation, for example, Lincoln was a Republican, and they actually had to bribe the Democrats. The Democrats back in the days were the party of slavery, and they actually had to be bribed in order to allow for there to be a freedom. Lincoln had to bribe the Democrats of those days in order for them to accept the idea of freedom for all, including black people. So the Republican Party is actually originally the party of freedom. This is American history. How did black people become Democrats is very, very recent with the Kennedys. Because the Kennedys were fighting for civil rights, and they were fighting for good things for all people, including black people. So black people switched over mainly to the Democrats. One of the main reasons being the Kennedys, because the Kennedys had good policies. So they're intelligent people. They're following policies. So this time around, you can actually see even a Kennedy who has switched over to Donald Trump, following the policies, because this time around the Democrats have been in office forever and they have not made anybody happier, and so many people are suffering. So in terms of policies, it's a complete failure, and anyone who wants America to succeed as a nation and to get out of all these failing, well, you can't support the same people who have been failing and failing and failing. Joe Biden, Obama lied to the whole world. And then what did Obama do? He was a Democrat. Obama bombed Africa. Trump actually never dropped any bombs on Africa. You know, like I'm joking in my new book. I'm cracking jokes talking about you're gonna hate someone for calling you a shithole. And then you're going to turn around and support the Democrats, the Obamas and the Clintons, who actually caused so many wars, caused so many people to die, and who actually bombed African countries and turned them into shitholes. The Clintons are actually the ones who brought the Kagamistan in power in Rwanda, and they are Democrats. The Congo getting destroyed, so many millions of people dying, the mapping report coming out getting ignored. That was everything under the Democrat. So, if you're an African, if you're a Black person and you're an intelligent person and you think for yourself, you're not going to fall for the idea of just because you're Black, you should be supporting Democrats. No, you're going to follow the policies and you're going to follow whoever has the best policies. And for me, even though Trump is not perfect, there are so many things that we could criticize about him, but there are two candidates. There's only two candidates right now, and there's absolutely no way I would support a woman who has not, so you cannot name anything that she has accomplished, and she's claiming to be Black, but I suspect she's a fake Black woman. And her policies and the Democrats have been disastrous. So you cannot support people based on that. You have to move on and you have to support somebody else. And that is why in these elections, I'm definitely voting for Trump, even though I'm Canadian and I don't even get to vote in the American elections. All right, my people. So that's the end of the English section. Thank you very much for everybody who was here in English. All we are looking for is justice, peace, and love for everybody. And let's not lose focus of the tragedy that has happened. These little young girls who lost their lives. So we wish all the best to their families and to the British people, and we wish justice upon the planet. All right, my people, so let's move into French. La famille, merci d'être là. On bouge en français. On est samedi détente politique, le 2 novembre 2024. Bienvenue sur You and I Talk Show.